Hey guys, welcome back to another Flesh and Blood video. So today we're going to be talking about US Nats and kind of my journey through that and just kind of recapping a little bit of everything, if I'm being honest. I had a really good time at Nats. It was a lot of fun. I met some fun people, played some really good matches. Had some pretty tough losses along the way too. So day one of Nats, I went 4-3. Started out my draft 1-2. So that was a pretty tough start, and honestly, it was a little frustrating for me. I really had to when they had the lunch break, I really had to compose myself and pull it together to come back and do well in CC. So I drafted Dromai, and I felt like I was in the right spot. I was reading all the signals. I had a Thermai, a couple Kylorias. I had like four dragons. My deck was really solid all the way around, but I played against 3 5s in the pod, and that's just a hard matchup, and I just ended up not getting there. And that's part of it. So I'm 1-2 in draft. I'm a little frustrated. We take a lunch break. I'm trying to pull myself together. We come back and I go 3-1 in CC. I'm 3-0 in CC playing Dash, and I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm like, okay, if I win here, I'm 5-2. I'm still alive for top 8. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play day 2, and I'm going to grind it out. Play against Oldham in the last round. Dash is pretty favored in that matchup, in my opinion. I'm open for debate to that. But my opponent wins the die roll, goes first, attacks with hammer. I throw a couple cards to save life. He arsenals passes. I draw a plasma purifier. I load everything, play plasma purifier, pass, no defense reaction. He goes smashing good time from arsenal, fuse Oakenold, coming in for 12, and it hit. And unfortunately, I lost a plasma purifier, and the game ended 1-1. I think some of that was my opponent's inexperience, but it was a close game and a good one, and I was really hoping to get there at the end of the game. Because after he blew up my plasma purifier, my experience with that game has been that I just can't leak enough damage to win the game. But my opponent, we played it out, and I almost got there, so it was close. And after finishing 4-3, excuse me, after finishing 4-3 at day 1 of Nats, I decided I was going to drop and play in the calling. So I drop and playing in the calling. I am 4-2 going into the last round, and I'm playing against the Dromai. Another matchup that I feel like is very close, but I'm also a little favored into, and I just ended up just not getting there. My last popper was in my hand like one of the last turns of the game, and he had a second cycle Dominia, came at the right time to take my last popper. So it was a good game, and it was a close one. Hats off to both my opponents for winning both those games. They're not easy games to win. So I don't know. I had a lot of fun. It was the first real big tournament I got to play in for Flesh and Blood, and I enjoyed it. Honestly, I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to more tournaments next year. So, yeah. But I want to talk a little bit about. Just kind of the lists that did well at both the calling and nationals in general. So Michael Hamilton wins U.S. Nationals. This guy's been on a tear. Michael Hamilton won like back-to-back callings. He's now a reigning national champion. Like, he had a good showing at the first PT. I'm not really sure how he did the second PT, but he was just doing really well. Michael Hamilton is like probably one of the best players in the game right now, and you see it in his gameplay and you see it in his games. I watched some of his Nats games, and he played it really well. Now, he was also playing Bullet Wound, which is really interesting because it's a 7-cost attacker, which means it is a bust, and it is also a card that allows you to put a different form of pressure on your opponent. And it was really interesting to watch some of his gameplay. He played it really well, and he had a good deck that ended up being able to take him home. Really, the second list that I want to talk about is Jacob Baugh here in 3rd place on Dash. He was on what I would consider hard control Dash. But he was playing like Sigil of Solace, Healing Bombs, like the Sun Moon Gain Life card. It was really interesting. I watched him. The only time I got to watch him play this weekend was when he was 10-2 on camera versus a Fi, and that did not go very well. I later saw him tweet that Fi was his worst matchup. It is what he lost to in the semifinals. And honestly, I think he would have won the whole thing if he would have drawn a different matchup. So it was an interesting deck and an interesting thing to watch play. I've considered trying to play it just to see what it looks like and how it feels, but it is a very interesting deck. And then, the calling, Matthew Dilks had a really good showing. After he won that Columbus event, I think it was a Battle Harden like a month or two ago. And then somebody that I really want to talk about is down here, second to last, Viserai, John Ho. I played beside this guy a couple times all weekend. Every time I've ever seen him, he's playing Viserai, and he's doing so well. Like I just feel like he's found his deck, his character, and he's doing really well with it. And I like to see it. Another person that I also is just insanely good is Isaac Crut. Isaac Crute. I don't know how you say his last name. I apologize, whichever one is correct. He is doing well at every event I've seen him at. Like in New Jersey, he did extremely well. He top aided the PT, and now he's top aiding the calling in Charlotte. Like just there's a few names that are really standing out to me as great players in the game right now. And I love to watch them play, and I love to see the lines they take and how they might differ from what I would have done or how I would have blocked. And it's really nice and really fun to see all these things right now. So, all right. Well, that was a recap of my Nats weekend. Again, I had a great time. I'm really looking forward to the off season. Not really so much for testing a specific thing, but I'm going to really try and focus on trying to teach myself heroes I don't know that well. So a good example is Dromai. I've not played a ton of Dromai, but I would like to learn how to play the hero. Oldham is another one, even though he is kind of getting closer to LL than I would feel comfortable buying all this stuff for. But those are both heroes that I'm really looking forward to trying to learn a lot about. And the other one that I want to learn a lot about is Viserai. Just that consistent arcane damage just puts your opponent on such an awkward back foot. It's really weird. And so I don't know. Those are the three things I'm really looking forward to learning in the off season, and I'm ready to see what 2023 has in store. But thanks for watching video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.